Hello and welcome to another work in progress ship replay cast. And today I'm gonna recommendate a game that I played some days ago on my Twitch stream, and I'm playing the upcoming Tier 7 French tactical destroyer, the Vauquelin. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I hope my knowledge of my school French didn't let me down here. I think it sounded okay-ish, but don't name me on that. Alright, so French destroyers. What is so special for those who don't know anything about the specialities of this upcoming line? Well, you maybe already noticed it, but they have no smoke. That leads to a completely different playstyle. Which this line has, of course, are torpedoes, speed boost, and the reload booster that we know from some battleships and from all tactical cruisers from tier 6 on. So basically you play these French destroyers as, okay, you torp, you hit, and then you lose your reload booster to maybe set an additional fire, because the fire chance on the shells is also pretty good. They are not known for being super good at capping, but I'll try here. The Vauquelin sits with concealment spec at 6.6 kilometer concealment, which is okay, and for a tier 7 destroyer, therefore I'm able to cap this C cap. Apart from that, maybe you noticed I'm low tier here, so it's gonna be a rough game for me anyways, and we are playing on charts, which doesn't make it easier. It's a wide and open map with some areas where you can shine as French destroyer, but not in particular. Let's go quickly about the lineup, because I forgot to show it. So there you have the confirmation, some tier 9s, but only 2 of them, and the rest is tier 8 and tier 7s. Pretty okay-ish lineup. Could be, if there would be more tier 9s, then it could be way more problematic. Alright, I'm able to get the C cap, and I also saw that the Shiratsuyu are both in a division, so if they are smart, they split up. If not, well, then they are probably an easy prey if you get your hands on it. And there's one Shiratsuyu spotted, the other one is in the B cap spotted, where there's already a lot of our top tier cruisers are doing some shenanigans there, which I can't say is a good idea, but okay. It is how it is, right? Maybe that they get this Shiratsuyu here killed. I'm already heading towards there to support additionally, in case we need to. If we get rid of 2 destroyers, that's a big thing. Yeah, launched some shots. Now I'm spotted from the Ibuki, but I don't wanna take a fight on that range. What you also can do in the French destroyers is just load AP. The AP is quite potent, and with a reload booster you can punish broadsides of cruisers pretty nicely. So especially low HP cruisers or so, you can delete in this or in this way. Keep that always in mind. Also, especially the higher tier ones are pretty fast, especially with speed boost. Speed boost also lasts a bit longer than the usual speed boost of the other destroyer lines, and therefore you are able to change sides and or the flanks or the position pretty quickly, which complements the whole French kind of playstyle. You see it in the cruisers, they have speed boost. The battleships have speed boost. They are pretty flexible in terms of changing position, etc. I'm not going in immediately into B, because I want to know if there's already something heading towards B from the other side. Of course I can sit in there, but my cover is limited. There's still some presence here, still some presence here, which makes the mid really vulnerable. Yeah, I can't get spotted, but I don't have a smoke either, so that's problematic. And da-da, there we see Ibuki, Colorado, and they are heading already towards the B cap. Yeah, so I try to capitalize on this by maybe launching torpedoes and yeah, maybe get some damage done. These torpedoes are aimed for the Colorado, even though the Ibuki is locked down. This is a replay bug. Yeah, but I don't want to stay around too close. The Vauquelin has 5 139mm guns. Let's just go to it. And yeah, I'm really thinking about shooting here, but the problem is if I shoot it, the Ibuki will be warned, maybe also the Colorado, and then my torps might miss, but never mind, my torps will miss anyway. So, okay, back to the guns. As I said, the AP shells are pretty good. And especially with the reload booster, this makes a lot of yeah, damage on especially lightly armored cruisers. I mean, the Ibuki is lightly armored, but it's still a tier 9, so means it has a bit more armor, and therefore I have to watch out a bit. I'm constantly resetting and annoying here the enemy. Wanna set also some fires to annoy them even more, and only one fire per ship. Yeah, dodging qualities of myself, questionable. The ship is still very large and even with speed boost not the fastest one. So you can only do that on range. But you see that I have a good base firing range of 13 kilometers. This is absolutely sufficient. Everything beyond you won't hit much anyways. So you want to avoid this, or you don't need to slot AFT or something like that, in my opinion. It's pretty hard to hit otherwise. You see these floaty arcs, only good against battleships. So now I have to watch out. Okay, the sub was out. I'm stopped firing because there's also a Cleveland now. And yeah, dodging, stop firing, because also Nice now is coming in. So I of course want to avoid this. I saw that the Gneisenau ate torps from the enemy Gneisenau, so I use my reload booster to set fires. As I said, that's what the reload booster is about. And of course I'm bailing to not get too close to the Cleveland. And sadly I'm not so lucky with my torpedoes. Torpedo reload, by the way, is pretty okay. You have 8 kilometer torpedoes. On the tier 6, tier 5 you have surprisingly 9 kilometer, but the higher tiers, or from tier 7 on, you have only 8 kilometer torps, which can be sometimes pretty annoying, but yeah, it's not a torpedo based class of destroyers, so they're okay. So avoiding the Cleveland because I know the Cleveland has radar, and hope that maybe torps hit. But the problem is that my King George is also running here away and doesn't make life for me easier. Yeah, Cleveland easy to dodge for him. And now I tried that, what I told you, I try to maybe wreck him with my AP if he gives broadside. So for that I need to hope that he's not popping radar because he has 9 kilometer radar range. I hope he maybe popped it already before, and or maybe it's just recharging and I'm able to get into his broadside. This is kind of the things that you should do in the French destroyers. The French destroyer line, especially because you don't have smoke, you can't continuously shoot. You have to figure out your situations in which you can yeah, be the most effective with shooting your shells. AP is doing some fair damage, but even on that range it's really wonky. But I survived. That guy is dead. So mission accomplished. Of course, I think the King George also helped me a bit, or someone helped me definitely a bit. Torping the incoming Gneisenau, while my friendly Gneisenau is going for ham on the other enemy Gneisenau, and yeah, they kill each other, which is of course bad because they had a lot more HP than the enemy one. This is of course really, really bad, but this is a thing that, yeah, how can I say it, stays the whole game like this. My team is not really good at trading. And here, same thing, waiting for torpedoes too, and now I should be able to finish him off. He doesn't know where I am. He has to turn his turrets and his ship, and once I will already finish him, he was also flooding. Alright, so that's kill number 2 here. Yeah, heading straight for A, we need this cap. And I hope that the King George and Leon are able to kill one of the Ibukis, or that Ibuki, that particular one. That would help me a lot. Getting rid of the cruisers is really, really helpful for me. Battleships, of course, as a destroyer, not the biggest issue, but cruisers, especially if you don't have fast running torpedoes. I mean, the torpedoes on the Vauquelin are not slow, but also not too fast. So no F3 Shima Castle level of speed. And yeah, if you don't, since you don't want to be that close to cruiser, you have to fire them a bit further away, and yeah, that makes life easier for the cruiser to dodge them, etc. You name it. Alright, arrived in A. Something I can tell you about the Vauquelin in special or in the line. Yeah, well, the problem of this line is, in my opinion, the air detection. If there are carriers around, it's gonna be difficult because you have a really bad air detection. For the Vauquelin, I can tell you, Wargaming changed it or addressed that already and changed it and lowered it, so that ship should be fine. Also, the Mogador got, or the Kleber got a buff in that regard. That's the tier 10. But I think the whole line needs to get a buff in this regard. Your A on top to make the things worse is also pretty garbage. So yeah, the French destroyers don't handle very well against yeah, competent CV players, and can be super, super annoying. Upside of this line, but it's also a thing that this line needs, is the HP pool. For tier 7 destroyer, you have quite a lot. If you see it, I use survivability expert, and I land 20,550. That tops all the tier 7 destroyers I know, at least in the game, premium and non-premium. So you are pretty much the tankiest, in exclamation mark, destroyer. Also on top, Wargaming addressed the problem of eating too much damage by setting, I think, the saturation of certain parts, or they saturate a bit earlier. So, for example, the midship part or so, since you have 3 sections, or 4 it is, I'm not sure if the superstructure is counting as a different section, but you have bow, stern, and mid section, and then I assume additionally the, what is it? Yeah, the superstructure section. And these parts saturate a bit quicker. Means in terms of survivability, it should help the ship. Alright, so on the actual game, yeah, I'm alone with this Leon, and yeah, have now a tough nut to crack. How do I get rid of the Colorado and Ibuki, who are both in this cap right now? And yeah, bad news, but now I just hope that my AP shines. Reload booster. I don't have the turrets on the right side. Oh yeah, one thing that the turret, what is it? The turret traverse is also not the greatest. I wish that's the thing that Wargaming maybe changes, at least a bit. It doesn't need to be as good as, for example, on the Americans. And somehow I survive here with so little HP. But yeah, Leon and Kutuzov can still kill me, which makes life even harder. And the main issue I have here is my AA is garbage, my air detection is garbage, and the bookie had the fighter plane left. So, yeah, problematic. So I have to ram myself into the island and hope the best here. My RPF shows in front. I'm not sure if that's the optimal build, but I found RPF pretty useful. You don't want to end up in situations because your concealment isn't the greatest, where you get ambushed by enemy destroyers. So you want to know where the nearest ship is. That's why I'm running this more or less like this. Alright, so trying to cap, trying to bail, and now the Colorado has a spotter plane. After I desperately shot down one fighter plane, now the spotter planes come in and spot me again. Just hope that I can sit behind that island. And yeah, the Colorado seems to be on exactly now in the cap, in the direction my RPF is pointing, and this makes things really, really rough for me. So what can I fucking do? Sorry for my words. Basically, I can just hope. I can just hope that my Leon down there is helping me. That's the first thing. And I can hope that I maybe get my torps off on the Colorado and he doesn't kill me in return. That's the Kutuzov that is firing at me from down at sea. I think if I can kill the Colorado and don't get killed in return, then I should be fine. Problem is the surprise moment is more or less gone because of these yeah, pesky planes. So I know that I'm safe here in that position where I am right now, but that's it. But Kutuzov is is closing in, so and the Lyon as well. Situation doesn't get better, and yeah, this island is also not so good because it's pretty flat at the outside, and that means the Colorado can shoot me. And since I have no speed boost, I can't reverse in time, and yeah, the Colorado kills me. On the other hand, I return the favor and kill him as well, but that doesn't help us because my Lyon is still on the run. I can tell you I was really pissed about Lyon, you see it already in the chat. I'm a bit sarcastic. Yeah, I can just tell you we won't win this because Lyon is thinking he can still run away while we are behind in points and 1 minute 30 left. That's the usual teammate that or most of the teammates are like this, playing like zombies. It's problematic, but yeah. That's how it is nowadays. So let's go quickly over the result screen. Yo. Okie dokie. Yeah, almost 100k in a bottom tier. That's always pretty good. 4 kills. I tried my best. I'm still not sure if I could have played it a bit different in the mid in that part where I got killed. But I think apart from that, I played it okay-ish. Maybe not like super precise in terms of what you should do and what not. But still, I think there was not so much more I can do. Most of the players nowadays can't pull their own weight in the ships, and yeah, you can't simply carry every game. It's just nearly impossible. Your team is often dying at a rate where it's impossible to carry. Results in 1,500 base XP. I think that says everything. But yeah, it's not so much about the stats and how much or how I think this this game was going on. I mean, probably a lot of you witnessed the same experiences. It's more about the line. What do I think about it? Well, I just picked the Vauquelin because I had a good game and it was interesting. I could talk a bit about it. I think the line is promising, but it needs some fine tuning. Like especially air detection is a thing. The tier 9 Mogador I don't like at all. 7.1 kilometer concealment with concealment build, if I'm not mistaken, or if I remember correctly. So that's an absolutely garbage concealment that doesn't bring you anything and makes life for you really hard. So I think I will pass on this information towards Wargaming that this is, I wouldn't say unacceptable, but not really helpful. Yeah, but this line can be really fun if you play it to your maximum potential, in my opinion. And yeah, one question that always comes, or I always get asked, is it competitive? And that's a question I would say, or I would negate, or not negate, but yeah, negate. I think that's the right word. Sorry. Um, because smoke is just simply so valuable, and in competitive, also concealment comes into play, hydro, radar, some things like this, which have a significant influence on the game. The ships can dish out a lot of damage in a short time, but you need some other ships to enable it. And in competitive, especially against good players, you won't be able to do that because they won't let it happen. And therefore, I think the French destroyers, as of right now, are not competitive enough to be good. I mean, for rank maybe because you don't face always the best players there, so you can probably do some things with it, but don't expect to have such a significant influence on the outcome of the game. But as I said, it's a fun line, and for those of you who are into totally competitive and want to win everything and whatever, I guess it's a really, really good addition to the game. All right. Yeah, I can go over my recommended build for now, and will tell you what I would choose on the higher tiers, etc. So, see you in a bit. All right, here we are with the Vauquelin. So, yeah, what kind of consumables? Well, I would recommend, as usual, all premium. In the future, or not long ago, or not long ahead, I mean, Wargaming will change the consumables so everybody gets to use, or there's only one consumable, which are premium consumables, so that should not be such a big thing anymore. If you want to leave something out, I would say it's the engine boost. That's maybe not so valuable as the other two. Then upgrades. Pretty basic, straightforward. Main armament modification 1. Here on slot 2, you could argue to use the speed boost module, which increases your time that you can spend in with speed boost active. But I found myself of getting my engine knocked out pretty often, and therefore I went for this here, propulsion modification 1. You have still 3 minutes of oh no, it's only 2 minutes. I was wrong. It is only at tier 8 when it gets 3 minutes. So sorry for that. I forgot about it. Why is that, by the way? And you get a 20% instead of 8% speed boost. So that's also a typical French feature. Apart from that here, the propulsion, I went for aiming system modification 1 because AA doesn't make sense. Yeah, the turret traverse would be great, but you give up reload time. I think you could argue for main modification to 5%. And let's check how much it would be. Because the turret traverse is sometimes really questionable. So it's 0.2 seconds more reload time, and you get 15.7 seconds. Not great. Since you know when you use RPF where the enemy is, more or less, you can adjust your torpedo, your guns usually beforehand. That's a thing I also do with the mid-tier Russian DDs if I play them, because they have the same issue. So you have to think ahead where the enemy comes from. That Ibuki in the game, well, he caught me a bit pants down. Nothing I could do about it, but I still killed him in the end, which was lucky, for I have to admit. In the end, I went for rudder shift, simply because this is a yeah, a quite large ship, if you can see it. And yeah, this forward backward thingy doesn't work too well in it, in my opinion. I mean, you can try it. Maybe it works for you. Then you can go for the propulsion. Same like I do. I play, for example, only Yoso. But since you're on ranges like 13 kilometers, that's not so far, and people will probably hit you a bit more, or a bit more often. So I went with this steering gears. Also, if you have to dodge torpedoes or something like that, it's helpful. All right, let's go over the captain quick. Priority target, business as usual. Then last stand. Then I went for survivability expert and then consummate expert. So this is pretty basic. Then superintendent, RPF, and adrenaline rush. So this is a pretty basic build. You can fiddle around a bit, maybe with a torp reload. I don't know what's the base torp reload here. 90 seconds. That's okay. It's not very slow, not very, but also not very fast. Here you see the torpedo setup, like on the Mayhem, 3 X3 launchers, and this middle one works in both sides, while these only work on one side. Yeah, and that's it basically about the Vauquelin, what I can tell you. And yeah, but I'm looking forward to the French cities if they get buffed. If not, well, or if, I mean, the buffs I was talking about. If not, depends. I think the Vauquelin itself is in a good state, especially with the air detection thingy. It's quite in a good spot. But there are others in the tech tree, in the line that I'm not agreeing on with yet. But let's see how that works out. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful for you. Hope you got excited about the French destroyers. And yeah, see you next time. And bye bye.